Welcome to Brand Builders TV. Deep dive topics, tools and resources brought to you by global thought leaders from within the Brand Builders Club. This show gives you access to the strategies that you can use to move forward with ease and flow in every area of your life and business. In today's show, Tracy-Anne is going to give you 15 steps that will help to get you on the right track. Learn it, model it, and get shit done. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Brand Builders TV today. I am Tracy-Anne Barker and this is my show to help you step up and be a management maximiser. I am the manager's mentor and I've worked in senior leadership roles for over 30 years and been a manager numerous times, just like many of you. How we step up when we get that first management position, or perhaps when we take on a new team, or just want to improve our management skills, is really vital to our roles. And this is what I'm going to take you through today. For about 20 minutes, we're going to look at some key things that you can do to help your management role, but also help you be that management maximiser. We're going to have a look at 15 steps that sit within 3 categories, which I'm going to introduce you to in a short while. These are going to help you get on the right track to being that management maximiser. Sometimes we can have a bit of fear as a manager. Sometimes we can have some anxiety. I know that I've certainly felt those moments of sickness in the past, so perhaps you have. And it can be quite lonely as a manager. Sometimes we doubt ourselves. And if we've been promoted and we possibly ourselves don't feel that confident, or you might feel a bit of imposter syndrome and feel quite alone, not sure who to talk to. I really don't want managers to feel alone. I've had that feeling myself before, and I certainly don't want other people to experience that. So what I'm doing is building a community of managers who are here to support you, help you become confident, and help you become successful. We're all individuals, and our teams, however small or however large, are made up of individuals. So it's really important that we understand some fundamental things that we can do, that we can adapt depending on our team and depending on the individuals within that team, to really have good management practice. It's important you understand how you can maximise both your own performance and the performance of your team. That will help you become more confident and certainly more focused. So, what are we going to do in the next 20 minutes together? You're going to learn how to lead and manage your team. You're going to learn about some do's, and also how to avoid the do nots. So how can you do that? As a manager, it's important that you learn it, practice it, and deliver it. Those 3 areas will certainly help you become much more confident as a management maximiser. So if we have a little look at the categories, I'm just going to put them on the screen right now. So they are category 1, your behaviour. So that's how you can behave and conduct yourself. Category 2 is about your team and how you can have a positive impact on your team. And category 3 are the things that you can do to help your team maximise. So team maximising. I've had a lot of experience in all of these 3 categories and these 15 steps that I'm going to take you through in this session today. And the do's definitely work, and the do nots are definitely the things that will help you to avoid, help you to think about if you've perhaps had some experience before. So before we start with the categories, just spend a few moments thinking about perhaps a time when it hasn't gone particularly well for you. How did that make you feel? Did you feel nervous? Did you feel a little bit let down by your skills, or perhaps a bit upset of that situation that had occurred? Did you get that anxiety or that tummy feeling that perhaps you could do better and perhaps you'd like to do better? So fast forward to a situation perhaps that's much more positive in terms of your outcome. Have you got an example of something that either you would like to go well, or perhaps that you've delivered well so far? How did that make you feel? Did you have that sense of happiness, that sense of achievement, perhaps a little bit of elation? Perhaps a job well done. Did you go home at the end of your time at work, your shift or your hours at work, and think that was a job well done? Those are the thoughts and the feelings that we really want to get you having on a more regular basis. A manager's role is tough. Anybody who is a manager, who's been a manager, would certainly say so, that there are tough times. Those are not going to disappear overnight, but actually trying to have the positive impact that you can have on your team will really help the more positive feelings for you. So that will help your confidence grow, also help you be happier in your role and in your role of managing your team, and it will help you deal with things when they're much more challenging. So let's have a look at the 3 categories. So category 1, your behaviour. So this is very much rooted in you and how you can behave and how you conduct yourself. The first step in this category is about being a dictator. So do not be a dictator. Don't order people around. Don't be that bossy boots who really dictates to their team. It's really important that you gain the respect of your team. A bad boss will remind the team unnecessarily that they're in charge and their word goes. That really isn't a good trait for a good manager. So really try to build that respect and gain that trust of your team. That was really important. The next one is about anger or perhaps temper. Losing your temper in public is really a childlike behaviour trait. It's okay to be angry when things perhaps have not gone wrong, or people have not followed instructions, or you've got some repeat, poor performance. It's okay, but how you control that anger and display that anger is really important, and that sets a strong leader out from a not such strong leader. So really don't lose your temper in public. The next one is all about rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty. It's really important that the team don't see that you shy away from hard work. Demonstrate that you're supportive when the going gets tough. Demonstrate that when things are a bit more tricky, you're going to roll up those sleeves and get involved. The next one is about lies. Even little white lies can really get you in trouble as a manager. At times, your management role will mean that you've got information that you can't share with the team. It's not the right time, or it's confidential information that you can't share. That is part of your role. It's really important that you don't tell lies just to try and make yourself feel better or make somebody feel better at that particular point. You've got to be honest. You've got to treat that information properly and make sure that it doesn't get out of control, because those lies, even little white ones, will trip you up. Build on your team's strengths. See your team of individuals as a team of individuals, but also a collective. But remember that not everybody is perfect. I'm not talking about fitting a square peg in a round hole if you've got somebody in your team that's perhaps not suitable. But if you've got a suitable member of staff, build on those strengths. Remember that it's your job to help them grow and perform well and help keep them motivated for your organisation to thrive. The next one is about your team, so category 2. So the steps that sit within here are about what you can do to have a real positive impact on your team. The big one is don't play favourites. Having a team is a bit like having children. You will always get the one that you resonate most with. You'll always get the ones that you don't resonate with, or perhaps aren't your cup of tea outside of work. As a manager, you can't play favourites. Fundamentally, everybody has to be treated the same. And that's what a great manager will do, is treat all of their team the same. If you've got poor performance, they need to be treated the same. If you've got high performance, they need to be treated the same. It doesn't matter whether you would like them outside work or not. They have to be treated the same. The next step in category 2 is about don't treat people like idiots or humiliate them. Everyone's got different strengths and areas of development. And if they've done something wrong, you absolutely have to call them out. You absolutely have to deal with it, but not in public. Don't make people feel stupid. You really will damage team relationships, inter-team relationships, and your relationship with the team. The next one is about employees' personal time. As a business, as a manager, we pay our team to do a set task or a set number of hours. Unless absolutely necessary, don't invade their personal time, the personal space. There will always be the extenuating circumstance or the emergency that you might need to call somebody from your team outside of your work hours. But really don't make that a regular thing. Their home time, their personal time is their personal time, and it really isn't good practice for you to invade that time on a regular basis. The next one is about making time for each member of the team. Even your high-performing members of the team need your time. Don't just focus on those poor performers. It's really easy to put all your energy and all your focus on them, but your high performers can soon fall to become your low performers if you don't balance that time wisely. So those regular one-to-ones that you have with all of your team are important with all of them. They might happen to be a little bit longer with the ones that you've got performance or management performance issues with. But actually, everybody needs to have that regular communication with you, and that's really, really important. So category 3, team maximising. This is what you can do to help the team maximise what they need to do. The first one is about not making promises that you can't keep. So don't say you're going to do something or that something's going to particularly happen if you can't keep that, if that's not within your control. If you go down that road of making promises that get broken, you will lose engagement and motivation of the team. They will become disengaged and they will become demotivated, and that will affect the performance of your team and each individual. Communication is the big one. So really making sure you have those regular conversations with people, those regular monthly one-to-ones where you catch up from a work perspective. Those 6-month annual reviews, 6 month and then those annual reviews, making sure that you are working with them in terms of their targets. The next one is about setting really achievable goals and targets. Anybody can set goals and targets as a business, but making sure they're achievable will help the team stay motivated. Not easy. They have to be stretching, they have to be challenging, but they have to be meaningful and achievable. So it's really important as the manager that you lead on that. The next one is about work, delegation of work. Now, you might have quite a busy job. Most managers have a technical job, they have a day-to-day job on top of their management job. And your job, I'm sure, is quite busy all of the time. Being able to delegate some of your work wisely into the correct people is really important, not only for your own sanity, not only for your own management of what you're doing, but more so for the development of your team. So thinking about the expansion of your team, thinking about longevity of your team, and how you move that team forward and develop that team, it's really, really important that you make sure that different people can do different tasks throughout the organisation, throughout the team. So that's really, really important. The next one is about the blame game. You must address poor performance, but don't play a blame game. It's much more positive to have a lessons learned activity with your team if something goes wrong. Obviously, if somebody has made an absolute boo-boo, something really has gone wrong, You need to address that poor performance if it's performance related. But actually, having those lessons learned is a real positive step, and it will really help the team respect for you, but also respect for each other and moving things forward. And if you make that very much an open and transparent process, the team will be open and transparent and won't try and hide things under the carpet, which can often trip people up. So really avoiding that blaming and naming is a really important area. The next one as the manager is the team expect you to come up with lasting solutions to ensure that the team have got a way forward. You don't have to have all the answers, but you do have to often have that final say on what it is you're going to do to go forward. So being really solution focused about what it is you're going to be doing is really, really, really important. So just bear that one in mind. So just to recap through those 3 categories. So your behaviour, how you can behave and conduct yourself. Avoiding being a dictator, not having a temper tantrum, getting your hands dirty, rolling up your sleeves, making sure that you don't tell lies, even little white lies, building on your team's strengths. And category 2, making sure that you can have that positive impact on the team. So avoiding having favourites, not treating people like idiots or humiliating them, having those private conversations. The next one was invading people's personal time and personal space. It's really important. And the last one on that category is making time for each member of the team, and that's really, really important. The final category. So this is the one that you can really help impact the maximising of the team. Promises, don't make them if you can't keep them and you can't follow them through. Communication is the biggest one in this area, as I've mentioned earlier. Really important that you work on your communication skills. Achievable goals and targets was next. Delegation, and that's a big one for you to work on as a manager if you've got quite a big team and you've got quite a big workload. Avoid the blame game. Use much more of a positive lessons learned type process within your team. And the last one, as a manager, coming up with lasting solutions. Not always the answers, but making that final decision on that solution to help the team move forward. It's really important. So it's really, really important that you understand how your behaviour impacts on your team. As you develop your confidence and your knowledge as a manager, really work on these 3 categories. So behaviour, your team, and team maximising. These will all help you become confident and focused about what you need to do as a manager, not only to maximise the team performance, but also to maximise your own performance. One thing that I really suggest you think about is, as a manager, you're much more of a facilitator. Your job is to get the best out of your team. Don't underestimate your individuals in the team. So hopefully you've got some takeaways today. Your behaviour, your team, and team maximising. My advice to you is be human, build really positive relationships that will help you build trust amongst your team. And trust is an absolute fundamental foundation for you as a manager. And remember that as a facilitator, you are responsible for getting the best out of your team. And they are important. It's not all about you. It's actually all about your team. I hope that this session today has been really useful for you, and you can really work on these 3 categories and these 15 steps that sit in these 3 categories. This will really help you become a confident management maximiser. It would be really great to connect with many of you. You can find me on LinkedIn at Tracy-Anne Barker. You can also find me on my business website and also my manager mentor website, Managers Mentor website. Oh, there's a little typo there. So it's managers, www.managersmentor.com, where you can find me. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. I hope that you can go forward, practicing your management skills and helping you become a management maximiser. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I hope that you've enjoyed the show today as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. If you've got anything out of this episode, please do tell someone else how they can subscribe to the Brand Builders TV channel at youtube.com/brandbuilderstv. Why not join us at our next Brand Builders Thinkubator, a global mastermind that we run every week to take away the loneliness of being in business on your own. For more information and to book your place, visit light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. That's light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. Until next time, be the ripple that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you soon.